Speaking of Coach LaBalbo, I'm going to ask you quickly. I know you've been asked this probably a lot over the last 24 hours. Uh, Assistant coach at Army for a few seasons under Bob Knight, who did pass away on November 1st at the age of 83. Knight is a controversial figure in the sport as it gets, but all-time winner, true legend of the sport, and the reason why Indiana is considered a blue blood these days. Won 3 national championships at Indiana while coaching only one future NBA All-Star, which was Isaiah Thomas, which is insane. Coach, what do you most remember about the General Bob Knight now a day after he has passed?
Yeah, Coach Knight was a complex guy. He was a he was an innovator. He was ahead of his time. Think about his imprint on the game of college basketball today, right now, or basketball in general. Dusty May was his former manager. Lawrence Frank was his former manager. He had a pretty big trade the other day with James Harden. Obviously, you have Mike Woodson. You got Steve Alford. You've got so many people that even today, Chris Beard, who's his assistant at Texas Tech, so many very high level coaches that are part of his coaching tree. That's not even mention Coach LaBabo, Don DeVoe, Dave Bliss, Norm Ellenberger, the ones way back in the Bill Parcells was his assistant coach at Army, which no one really realizes.
Mm-hmm.
But Coach was a complex guy. He was complicated. As a coach, he was well ahead of his time. He was a visionary. If you think about the way the game's played today in terms of flow, running from transition right into your offense and not resetting, that's what Bob Knight did. You think about motion offense, especially 4 or 5 out, was basically positionless basketball,
Yep.
where everyone had to handle, pass, cut, shoot, make plays. Defensively, in terms of ball pressure, denying ball reversal, communication, how you defended the post, how you defended ball screens. Bob Knight, master coach. Now, he was demanded discipline from his players. Unfortunately, at times, he didn't display that same amount of discipline. And then in the end, what caught him? I think, look, he was demanding. You can demand of your team. You can coach your team hard. The one thing you can never do is put your hands on a player. And obviously, that's probably in the end what cost him. But having said that, if you speak to the players, and you saw last year that celebration when he came back to Assembly Hall, it was Isaiah Thomas, it was Randy Whitman, it was Quinn Buckner, it was Kent Benson, it was Smart, it was a who's who, and he's done so many things to impact his former players' lives, and also so many things to be there for his former players when they've had issues. And I really believe, I'd say 95% of the guys that played for him, if they had gotten in a jam, he'd probably be the first person that they'd call. Now, look, all of us, every coach in America, you're not going to make everyone happy. But Coach Knight, let's face it, he crossed the line certain times. His anger got to him, whether it was throwing a chair across the floor to make a point, getting after an official, getting after the media. He was going to make his point, and he was going to do it his way. A lot of it had to do sometimes with intimidation. A lot of it had to do with basically sending a message. Brilliant coach, someone that I had a great relationship with. When he called my games when we were at Virginia Tech, I'd always send my daughter up to sit with him, and he was unbelievable to her, except when he sent her back down to see me and said, Coach Knight said, you're practicing too hard. It's a game day. Lighten up on these guys. But complex guy, great coach, innovator, and his legacy lives out right now with all the former people that he mentored being as successful as any in the country.